Okay, we got a 1982 Ford F-150 with the 302 brought in for a severe oil pan leak and to replace the rear main seal. The transmission was pulled and we noticed that there was some witness marks from the flex plate bolts across the torque converter. So we were wondering what was the cause of that wear, and then we decided to check the crank Endplay, and we probably got 200 thousandths or so crank Endplay, quarter-inch. So the thrust bearing inside this 302 is definitely worn away. And if we look on the back of the transmission, we're going to see some witness marks from where those bolts were rubbing. That's definitely excessive crankshaft Endplay right there. Okay, so earlier today we measured an excessive amount of crank Endplay on a 82 Ford F-150. The reason that we investigated is we had some witness marks on the torque converter from the flex plate bolts. You can see those are that one especially is chewed in pretty good. A little research on the internet said that excessive automatic transmission pressure causes these torque converters to balloon out and put an excessive load on the crankshaft. So we did find an excessive amount of crankshaft Endplay, and we removed the main bearing and the thrust bearing rather, and we found an excessive amount of wear. I don't know if it's coming through that well on the video, but it's worn smooth. All of the soft metal has been worn away from this side of the thrust bearing. You can see on this side that it's still intact, it's still in real good shape. And you see how wide this side of the thrust is compared to this side of the thrust. It's worn all of the soft metal away, and we have the steel backer remaining. It has chewed into the main cap. All this material has been worn away. No such wear on this side. This side worn away. There's a groove worn into it there. I'm going to bring you under the truck. We can see how this part has been worn in. That flange where the thrust bearing would normally ride has been eroded away, and there's a lot of metal gone. Hopefully I can get in there and show you. All that has been just, and I think that the crankshaft has been shoved forward by the ballooning torque converter and has ruined that main bearing. But the reason that metal shell hasn't been worn away from the main bearing is because this edge of the crankshaft flange is digging into the main cap and didn't allow it to wear the thrust bearing away. So this side of the thrust bearing, or the flange of the crankshaft rather, is still smooth and hasn't been worn away. It still looks to be in, fairly good shape. Thrust bearing hasn't been worn away either on that side. But this side has been just eaten away. It's deep in here. There's a big ridge right here. So we suspect that the torque converter or an excessive automatic transmission pressure has caused that torque converter to balloon and put a load and wore that crankshaft and the thrust bearing away. So we might have some more information for you later.